And so when you get hailstorms like this, obviously you're going to have cold air up there. And that's the danger, is the wind goes up, and then when it comes down through that extra cold air, and it accelerates toward the ground. And they are very hard to predict. Doppler's done a good job with it if we can get a good, green, bright green. And that's why when I was talking earlier, when you see a flat green against the red, that flat green, when it's really bright green like that, I think it indicates a straight line wind more than a tornado. And that's what we were seeing. Wow, look at that. And again, right, that tree is pushed over, another indication of a straight line wind. It's not torn up like a tornado would tear it up. It's been pushed over. So it's probably going to be determined to be straight line winds, but I'm just guessing, and I don't want to say that's absolutely what it is, but it makes sense to me from the radar signature that I saw and and what we're seeing now of the damage. That's what it looks like to me. Let me see if I can go back.
I'll take it back.
As we go to...
That's just incredibly impressive.
Okay, if we can come to me for a minute, I just want to show everybody this real quick. Can you slow it down, Daji? Okay, and go back to where we're looking at the Cypress, Jersey Village area, where it says Cypress and Jersey Village. Okay, this is the velocity. This is what I was, see that bright green that goes by? That bright green, how it's flat like that, and there's a lot of it? That right there, that when you see that, even though you have the red and you look for the red and the green, when you see a big swath of green like that, that's flat like that, that's what usually indicates a straight line wind. And then that's why I've been saying all along this afternoon, you may not get a tornado, but you can certainly get the winds. That's a great example of what I think is going to be determined to be straight line winds, and it's right where Gage is. I mean, this is right there along 290 where this happened. So I think that it was a straight line wind of 100 miles an hour that came through there and knocked down those trees and those signs and those branches and those power lines. That's what I think. Because there you have it. And look at that, 107 mile an hour winds. Gage, I know you can't see us, but 107 mile an hour winds. And there might be even higher.
Frank, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
They're using what looks like some sort of saw to actually cut through the steel wires here. I don't know if you can see this on the screen. Houston Fire, might need to take it full in the control room, but you can see them using a saw. You saw sparks fly just a couple seconds ago to cut through the steel cables.
Well, and I'm kind of stupid on this whole subject, but it looks like those lines are really heavy. You don't just cut the power line off and then move them like they're twigs. I mean, there are heavy, heavy lines, and they're still cables that are wrapped together, right? I mean, I didn't think about that, but yeah, they've got to cut the power, which clearly they've done, I think, or they wouldn't be touching them. And now they've got to move them.
I sure would hope.
But it does look like
impressive.
Look at that.
To bring out equipment that they would use to extricate somebody from a vehicle, right, or an entrapment. They're using that to cut through those giant steel power lines.
Yeah, like the jaws of life.
Pull them out.
Yep.
Yeah, and that almost looks like a saw, maybe. It's hard to tell, but nonetheless, I mean, they're going at it for quite some time just to get through one line, and like you said, Frank, there are several strands of that fell.
But as far as you know, and as far as we know, no one was hurt.
As of now, it doesn't look like that. They had an ambulance respond. I didn't see anybody being put on a stretcher or anything of that nature, which is a good thing. Cars are relatively safe. If you're going to be hit with a power line, it's probably a good thing to be in a vehicle, right?
Never seen anything like this.
Yeah, you see a bunch.
This is
Look
remarkable.
at this! Oh my gosh, a porta potty.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Blown into the middle of the road.
That's not a bad idea. If you've been sitting there for an hour.
But it looks like it was on its side.
Oh, I thought maybe they brought one for people.
And they were pushing it out of the traffic.
Okay, again, a straight line wind issue. I guarantee you this was straight line winds. Enough about that though. But whatever it was, it was. Oh yeah, but whatever it was bad. That's for sure.
To be able to push, a porta-john onto the freeway, assumedly, and as we saw, there was evidence of a construction site right over here, because we saw some down fencing. Yeah, there it is. There's the construction site. So if it picked that, I'm not saying it picked it up, but I'm just saying it somehow pushed it, moved it. Otherwise, we're assuming that it came from there, because why else would a portable bathroom be on the interstate? That is impressive.
I did want to mention, Gage, they're back on you and me, but there is a tornado warning in Chambers County. And just to get your bearings here, this is really right around Anahuac. And there's Winnie right there. I could go in a little closer here. There's Anahuac. This is a tornado warning until 7:45. Again, it's indicated, you see the notch right there? It's indicated by radar. No guarantee that it's a tornado, but it is certainly something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, because you never know. Again, the velocity here, you've got the green and the red. And so this is much more classic than what I was showing you with that flat, bright green. That's why I think that was straight line winds. This is more the sort of medium green and the red right together there, especially right in this area here. So watch out, Anahuac to Winnie. This is through 7:45, a tornado warning that exists. Daji, there have been no tornadoes reported on the ground with this. I'll have Daji check that, but
yeah, no tornadoes have been reported so far with this tornado warning. But something to note is that this is spinning up quickly because it's close to that coast. And then we also have that wind coming out off that line. So that's kind of helping create that notch there.
Yep,
something
right
to
there.
watch out for, yeah.
And on top of that, a severe thunderstorm warning. So not only the tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning, both until 7:45. I think if I hit that storm tracker is what I call those, and you can see hail 1.5 inches. This is headed toward Turtle Bayou, Monroe City, Hancomer, Cottonwood, Felicia, Hogpen Crossing, all between now and 7:47. So if you are in this area of Chambers County and even southern Liberty County, watch out as this storm continues to move off to the northeast pretty quickly. If it's going to be in Liberty County by 7:30, then I mean you're looking at this really right in your area as we speak over the next 15 minutes. Gage, it looks like there's been some movement where you are. Is that a fire truck in the middle?
Yeah, this is.
And some people are leaving now.
This
moving.
is westbound frontage road. Westbound frontage road. They cleared that area, so we got movement on the frontage road. However, on actual 290, we now have that big technical rescue vehicle that I was kind of telling you about a little bit earlier. That is now blocking all of the westbound lanes, outbound lanes of 290, as they've been, I mean, let's give a round of applause and a kudos to our first responders, quite literally running across all lanes of the freeway to get these cables, these power lines moved out of the area. Look, you can see them. Look at them hustling over here. This is impressive work.
Those are our heroes.
Teamwork, and maybe, honestly, this is taxpayer dollars of work, and this is what they train to do to be able to handle these kinds of sensitive situations and move. Look at all that wire that they're just tossing and throwing, and
Well, and people
that's
think
some heavy stuff.
People think firemen just fight fires, but who do you call when you have something like this? Obviously, you call those guys, and they are there to help.
And Frank, I'm just looking over here some more. I just can't help. I want to get closer to this, so I'm eager to see what the damage is as you see these cars, driving around these down trees, to just see what all ended up out there. And how much damage there truly was. So I'm eager to see that. It
looks like branches more than anything, and people will venture through that kind of a course. Oh, this is good news.
Oh, here we go. This is 290 westbound. We have cars flowing from what looks like the on-ramp there. But maybe people are sneaking around that big truck. Now, here's the really dangerous thing for these first responders. I know people have been sitting for a while. I just really hope that they slowly get up to cruising speed, if you will. And these are the outbound lanes. So I hope that they're going to slowly get up to speed here, because there are still a lot of people moving around up on all sides of the road here as they work to clear the traffic. But this is a good sign. Hey, we've been going at this for 45 minutes plus, and Houston's bravest got the outbound lanes freed up here. So that's a good sign.
Oh, it's an excellent sign.
Up in front here.
And I think your side will probably be moving fairly quickly. It looks like there is some action going on there. So they'll do their best to get that side open too. But even the HOV lane, that looks like it may still have something on it. But it's hard to know.
Yeah,
right,
that center
right
lane
there.
looks like
I don't
there's
know if
some
that's
cables still there.
Is that a cable still? So, but it looks like it's just a matter of moving this, because clearly the power has been cut off. I mean, they know it's not a dangerous power line, right? I mean, now it's just a matter of moving it.
Correct. And now here's the other question, right? And, you know, the bigger problem for tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people that are fed from this power line. When and how are they going to fix this to get everybody else that is fed off this power line back up and on the grid, right? This is a monumental task.
That's going to be a big problem, because even during Hurricane Ike, when people were without power for 3 weeks, it wasn't because the power lines were down everywhere so much. They had taken the power down and was getting all the grids back online. We didn't see a lot of this during Hurricane Ike. So when you see this, you could be looking at weeks. Hopefully not. I mean, we've come a long way since 2008. So hopefully they have backup plans and backup this and backup that. But we will find out. But you're exactly right, Gage. That's a very good question. Oh, here we go.
This very well could take a little bit of hiking up those towers. We got to make sure it's safe. And it looks like they're letting people get on the loop ramp there. So that's a good sign. And possibly, because look, we got some cars going the wrong way here. We might have had some folks that were a little antsy, trying to get off, maybe.
Yeah, maybe get back to that exit,
vehicles?
like this guy. Well, that looks like a responder there, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Oh yeah, people are
and
trying.
We kind of got him. This is organized chaos at its finest here.
It looks like it is organized though. It looks like they're letting people do that.
Yeah, they're and this is the danger I was talking about. You see our firefighters out here around where all these people are. But it looks like we got people signaling us through. So, or people up here, I should say, not us in particular. Because once again, let me zoom back out here. I want to put it into perspective. We're in a big traffic jam here.
Yep.
So we got some time to be sitting still, but it looks like the traffic is starting to move, Frank. But you have to wonder how long it will take to make those repairs, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially since it was a cable all the way across. I mean, because to the left the power was out from where you are, right? North of where you are, the power was out, and south of where you are, the power was out. So it's affected both sides of the freeway.
There's no lights around us.
Oh wow, they know how to back up a fire truck, don't they? They took care of that.
That's why they get paid the big bucks. Look at that. That's awesome. I mean, you got to appreciate the work that they do. And now I'm eager to see. Remember that white pickup truck? I wonder if it ended up leaving, or if there was any vehicles that were damaged as a result of this.
Yeah, the white pickup truck that was tangled in the wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe he was afraid to get out of his truck. Maybe he was just waiting for them, and they said, "No, you're good." And who knows? Maybe he cleared himself, or they cleared him, and off he went. You're looking at that tornado warning on your screen too, till 7:45 in Chambers County. Watch out there. Severe thunderstorm warning, also to the south. It looks like Houston's out of it as far as the big stuff, so that's good. It's the leading edge of this because the winds have been so strong. That's the leading edge that has been so dangerous with the storm. But it is obviously moving out of here, thank goodness. Okay, what's going on there, Gage? It looks like
either this could have been somebody that was.
Why does this guy stop? He needs to move.
Yeah, maybe he's not close enough to be hit with the lines, so maybe they've been sitting here for a while. Could have ran out of gas.
Well, yeah, that's not out of the realm of possibility for sure.
But yeah, traffic is slowly starting to move through here. But kudos to HPD.
It looks like you're one of them that's moving through. So you decided to take the exit?
Yeah, we're going to take the exit, and we're going to get you a better look here, Frank. We're going to go right up next to this big downed electric substation here. Let me throw the wiper on this camera that we can get a clean look. This looks to be some sort of debris over there. Is that insulation to some point? I'm not sure. But let's get you a look here at this. This, Frank, I think you were right with the straight line winds, the theory here.
Well, it's pretty simple. If everything's pushed over in a straight line, then it's straight line winds.
As opposed to circular. It was pushed.
Yeah, it does. And so many different spots, A lot of times a tornado, unless it has a path, but it doesn't look to me like there's a path with this. I mean, it's sort of in the same place, but a tornado will take out a large path of damage, whereas straight line winds are a little more random. Okay, what is that? Everybody driving over a line? Those are your lines?
Power lines. So they must have certified that they're de-energized and folks are driving over them.
Well, there you go.
And they just set up some cones there. But I think we're going to hang out here and try to see exactly. There's a lot of debris around here. So I think this is where we're gonna post up for a little bit. We're gonna maybe get our vehicle into position here to try to get into a parking spot and kind of survey the damage here, because I'm interested to see. Look, this is twisted a little bit though, Frank. I'm not sure. It looks
straight
like
lines.
There's a little bit of twist to it.
Straight lines can do that too. I mean, a lot of times straight line winds will take down houses that are being constructed that are just the wood and the frame, and you'll see the straight line wind destroy the house, but yet a lot of the wood is tossed around in what looks like a circular pattern. So I mean, the Weather Service, I'm sure, will make that determination because they know better, what to look at. And now with drones, you can get a much better idea looking from above down to see exactly where the damage is and what kind of damage, and make a better determination than I can just looking at our storm camera here. But hey, look, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I think it's probably, from what I saw on the radar, boy, it sure looked like straight line winds. That bright green is just taking over. That's a strong pattern for straight line winds. So, but you're right. There's a twist. It looks like it has a twist now. Could it have been a little of both? I don't know, but we'll see.
It looks like it fell down right in that straight. It fell down straight, but I'm just not sure if the base was twisted. Because looking around, it doesn't look like there's too much damage to buildings elsewhere in the area, which would be more conducive with a tornado, correct?
I would think, yeah. And more tree damage probably.
Oh, do you know what, Frank? Take a look at this. This is the first time we're able to look down this way. There's another one that's twisted on the opposite side of the road.
Wow.
We're looking across the interstate here, 290. Another one with.
And it looks like there's one behind it. So this is going to be interesting because
look at this.
I know. Well, what's interesting, Gage, is that you're looking from south to north, right? You're looking north right now, and
correct, yeah.
And the storm, the line was moving across the county, so it would be rare for a tornado to somehow jump from south to north and do damage on the south side and then jump over the freeway and do damage on the north side, but especially when the line is moving from west to east. You follow my reasoning here? But
yes, sir. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but straight line winds could certainly do that across the area. I do want to mention there's another severe thunderstorm warning. It's right here until 7:45. And that's for, well, we can zoom in because it's really for Galveston County, because I hit Galveston County, but it starts at Pearland, Friendswood. It looks like maybe right across Hobby, maybe not quite to Hobby, Dickinson, Clear Lake, but that is until 7:45 as this line finally begins to push out of here. But clearly it has not sung its last song, that's for sure. But there we have it. I want to take the boxes off and put it in motion just so you can see. This is the last hour. So this gives you an idea of this whole line moving through. So its last hurrah is right there. But as it moves across, clearly there's still some strong action with it, especially when you look at the lightning. Look at that's coming across. And if you look at the number of lightning strikes, they're not any less than they were when we first started tracking all of this 3 hours ago. We were at 1,000 strikes right now into Louisiana. And with this area particularly, we can go in on that, and you can see that whole area that's still in our part of town, that's got 800, 700 strikes just from Pearland and Seabrook right across toward Winnie. So it's still a really active system, clearly. And if you look at the warnings again, here's what we have. Let me put those back on. Severe thunderstorm warning that's in Chambers County until 7:45, so not too much longer. And then this one also until 7:45. Now, saying that, these could be extended a little more. So we might end up with a severe thunderstorm warning in the rest of Galveston County and Galveston Island. I don't think that this may be extended to Beaumont, but that's not our viewing area. But for us, right down here in Galveston Island and Galveston and even parts of Brazoria County, this whole line, that hasn't done much, that southern end of the line. But clearly, what's coming into the Alvin area and League City, that will continue to push across. So that's what we'll be tracking as this continues to push through. But severe thunderstorm warnings now until 7:45. I guess there's good news, and then there's no tornado warning, so any threat of that is gone. And then if you look at some of these storm trackers here, you've got Hastings and Friendswood, 751, Webster, Clear Lake at 759, League City, 759, Nassau Bay at 801, and Dickinson at 803. So that's, as this storm moves across, that's what we're going to continue to watch. I can put this in motion. You can see it's a fairly fast mover from Mission Bend all the way to where it is now in the last hour. Not quite as fast as the northern part of it, so it's kind of the tail end that's lagging a little bit. But it continues to push across clearly, and will continue to do that. So that's what we're watching now. Severe thunderstorm warnings until 7:45. So then we got 7 minutes left on that, and then I think very likely we'll see that extended. I think we'll see that extended. I don't know why it would suddenly drop, but it might. But I think clearly part of Galveston, Galveston Island will be under at least watch out for some strong storms. They may not be severe, but they could certainly reach the parameters of strong as this moves across. And this is moving across the Weather Service right now down in League City. So they're getting a firsthand experience of just what this storm is all about. Did something change there? No, it's still on the yellow there. So they'll be able to say, well, this isn't maybe as strong as we expected, or it's lightening up a little bit, and they may change their mind about whether it's a severe storm. But it has lightning with it. It's likely to drop hail, and certainly some heavy rain has been coming in. So we've been looking at that as it's moved across. We've been getting a lot of click-to-pins, which we'll be showing you. But if you go to click2pins.com or click2houston.com/pins, you can see them. We'll certainly show you those as we go into our 10 o'clock newscast, which we're getting closer and closer to that. There's the line of storms that we're watching. I'll take this out a little bit so that you can see exactly what we have here. All of these to the north, these are flood warnings for the heavy rain that you've had. San Jacinto, these until 8:30, 8:45, flash flood warnings. So they're not about, obviously, the rain that is coming down, but the rain that already has. So that's the problem with that. Well, that's going to continue to push on through. Elsewhere, severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings. I'm right on that, right, Dodgy? No tornado warnings. It's just the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. They still have one, it looks like, out toward Lake Charles, so they're still dealing with that. Sometimes it's lightning. It's interesting to look at, but it gets a little annoying when you can't see the rain, so I like to look at the rain. So there that tornado warning was. We didn't get any reports of tornadoes, which is good, in Chambers County, and that's been dropped. So it's just about another, let's see, what time is it now, right at 7:40. So 5 more minutes on these 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, although this one may be extended to Galveston Island, but this is clearly just the tail end of that. And so I think that's probably good news. Especially if you're down to the south there. So if I look at just that and the lightning with that, you can see it's really up here around Clear Lake. So down to the south, it doesn't look like it's going to be much to worry about, except just some showers coming through as you go just outside of Bay City and Matagorda, Lake Jackson, Freeport, Angleton, West Columbia. It looks like you'll be in pretty good shape there, and Sweeney. And then as this side comes across into Galveston, there may be at least enough lightning and maybe the parameters You need 58-mile-an-hour winds or the hail to get really to the parameter of a severe storm. So we'll see if that continues to hold. So that's the one thing. We're now 3 minutes out. We'll just bear with us, and we'll see exactly what happens with this whole area. So I know Daji's been looking at some rain amounts, which are pretty impressive, especially on top of what we've already had. Daji, what you got over there?
Yeah, as we take a look at the map here, notice to the north we are looking at 3, some spots even 5 inches, and those are in those areas that were already hit hard. And as Frank mentioned, that's why we do have those flash flood warnings in places like San Jacinto County right now, because we've already been saturated, and then we have 3.6 inches on top of that, some areas even 5 inches. But notice, if you're in the loop, you still got a good dousing as that line rolled through. It was quick, but it had some heavy downpours. Portions of West Houston getting 2 inches there, coming close to 2 inches in that northeastern area. And then as we continue to see that line press its way to the south and east along 45, we are looking at some rain totals around just over a ½ an inch. I do want to show you some of our click-to pins here. We have been once again monitoring this line of storms that have been rolling through, and we've been noticing some pretty impressive pictures coming into our click-to pins. If you want to share with us, please do. It gives us an idea of not only how strong it was on radar, but how it's looking out in the real world. So this is, you can see that 18-wheeler was turned over, and that user is saying, this viewer is saying, this was along Interstate 10 and 69, and he uses the word stupid crazy, meaning it was insane winds that led to this tipping over, led to that 18-wheeler tipping over. Here's another photo of some storm damage from one of our viewers. And we're still, once again, looking at a lot of power outages here across Southeast Texas.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Gage is going to want to see that. That is for sure. Gage, nice to see your face. We're just looking at a click-to pin of about 5 towers that have been pushed down. I know.
Yeah, and this is just one of them. On the other side of the interstate here, there are several more. Our camera can't reach it right now, but I count 1, 2, I believe at least 2 more on the other side of 290. But just the magnitude of this, to the force of Mother Nature to have brought this tower down and actually grind traffic on 290 to an absolute standstill. But folks, as there were people on the road, there were also people working in the businesses here. Pablo, you were inside. Tell me, what did you hear as all this was happening?
Well, lights were flickering on and off. We did start hearing a lot of wind, and doors just started to fly off. The doors were flying off.
The door of the business flew off?
It was trying to fall off. We put some tile that we sell, and we were able to secure it, get everybody indoors, and really clear the stuff. Things were flying from the roof, from the walls, and of course, when we looked at the back, the power line was down in the easement.
Did you hear this fall down? I imagine it made a noise, right?
It made a little bit of a thump, kind of like an explosion of sorts, but it was more to do like with the wind, I'm guessing.
I believe it. And was this quick approaching? Did it kind of ramp up over time, or was it just right there instantly?
It was there. It was within 5 minutes. The sky turned very dark, and within 5 minutes, we actually had to keep our customers inside and keep them indoors for the duration of the storm while the winds passed. We were trying to make sure that everything was safe, and all emergency services were here when we were out.
And as the winds were picking up, I know a lot of times during like tornadoes, people often kind of liken that sound to that of a train. Did you hear anything like that? I want our meteorologists, Frank Billingsley and Daji Swad, they're listening as well, just to kind of give them an understanding of what conditions were like out here. What did you hear or see whenever those winds were at their strongest?
Well, it definitely started with the flickering of the lights. We have a 20,000 square foot warehouse, and it definitely started flickering all around, thumping in the roof from the starting of the rain, and then everything that is attached just from the back, all the signs started to fly off, and then we started checking the windows for impact.
Because you thought they were
coming in from the parking lot. We checked at the cars to make sure that nothing was hitting them, and just making sure that our customers were inside the doors and away from the windows. It came all of a sudden, maybe 5 minutes, and the storm was here, and it looks like not even an hour, and things are starting to clear up again.
Well, you did a good thing keeping everybody away from the windows, Pablo. I'm so glad to hear you're safe. And that's just one of many businesses along here. But as we turn our attention back to this tower here, looking forward, the damage is done. Whoa, almost fell in a hole there. You see that? That's live television for you. But the damage is done, right? You got to think about the process to rebuild this, not once,
but 3 times, as there's 2 more on the other side of the interstate. But then also, how do you get power back to these lines that eventually will end up in my home, in your home, and everybody that lives around here? That's a monumental task that these utility workers have at hand. But the good news, Frank, hey, traffic is moving here on 290, so that's the best thing. And as we heard so far, no one has been injured that we know of in this area.
Wow, and you said 1, 2, 3. From the pictures I'm seeing, Gage, it's even more than that. So you're right. It's a monumental task. Thank you for your reporting. It's been great teamwork with you and Daji. Thank everybody. Here's the good news. So only a severe thunderstorm warning left in Chambers County. That's until 8 o'clock. So do watch out there, High Island. I know you're in the midst of that, as well as Winnie. This storm system, while it's still strong, does not have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, but still, it's going to continue to move to the east. In fact, I'll put a little hourly on there, and you can get an idea that that's continuing to push across. So watch out there in Kemah to Texas City to Galveston, because you still have some of those showers coming in. Obviously, we will have a full report tonight on our news at 10, and we'll try to get the best update on that whole power situation as we can. You folks out there maybe watching us online, we'll follow you all the way through and hope for the best out there. So I'm Chief Meteorologist Frank Billingsley. For the entire team here at KPRC2, we'll see you at 10.